Camaros are still out there. So everybody's running some cool stuff and trying to get it back to nostalgia. You know, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the nostalgia funny cars and dragsters and fuel altereds, those are the shit.
Yeah, these are definitely part of it. But, you know, don't forget the other guys in the other classes. I mean, there's some pretty badass stuff that are in there. You know, the old Willies, the old front-engine dragsters, the guys running A-Fuel, the guys who were running NE1 cars. I mean, there's all kinds of classes out there. You don't get to see some of the cars that are out there. I mean, I saw some T-Bird that was blowing on alcohol, a pink T-Bird, and I go, wow, this thing's wicked. It wasn't a funny car. It was like a pro mod, but these are cool. I mean, you got to keep that history going, and that's what you got to keep looking for, and God willing, we can help, you know, promote that. That's what's important. You know, that's why I do the radio show, and I think that's good to give back to the community, man, because somebody's got to keep it alive. And the guys that I've been talking to, they're not youngsters anymore. Most of those guys are above my age and older. So let's keep the history going.
Yeah, I like the nostalgia pro stocks too.
Oh yeah, the whole deal is cool. If you take time, I mean, I get to sit out on the line, which is cool. When I go down to the March meet in the reunion when I'm out there at Bakersfield, and there's nothing cooler than standing right there, right on the line with them. You know, all of them. So if you ever get that opportunity, I tell anybody just for a few short minutes to sit on one. It's nothing like it, and it makes the sport exciting. So.
Now, do you know Chris Crabo?
Of course.
Yeah,
Chris partied in Vegas.
Yeah, he'll be on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, I'm pretty good buddies with a lot of the Nitro. Because of the funny car stuff, you know, we had the funny car and we had Jack Wright Racing. Jack Wright put the King sticker on the side of the car, and that car kind of got a little more attention after we got our name on it. I go, how cool is that? It was cool of Jack to put the Kings on it. So we got a lot of guys saying, dude, why didn't you guys use us? So now we just made smaller stickers, and if you look at a lot of the West Coast cars, you'll see the King sticker on it somewhere, like on the Gerber's car, Wasn't Easy. You'll see it on Bucky's car. You'll see it on Chris Davis and Old School Nitro. Nitro Holics had it on their car. I mean, I could start naming a bunch of cars. A lot of these guys have helped us. Jeff Moniz as well on the Quarter Pounder, Mr. Explosive. So, you know, these guys all support the band, which is cool, and we always play the events, and I'm very thankful to have all these guys as friends. And, you know what, if they ever needed something from me, I would definitely go out of my way to do it for all these guys.
Yeah, I've had Chris Davis on the show already.
Yeah, Chris is cool. I saw them up in Spokane when I was up there, and they just trashed the car up in Idaho, so they were going through the thrash when I was there. So it was cool to see him and Jeff Lowe and a few of the other brothers. So, dude, it's cool. There's nothing cooler than being around it and being a little bit a part of this. So I'm very blessed to do what I do.
And then yesterday I had Steve Easton on the Burning Money funny car.
Bob?
Steve Easton from Australia.
Right.
Yeah, he was on yesterday.
That's cool. I didn't know he was the driver. I always talk to Bob Godfrey.
Yeah, Bob drives it too. He was telling me Bob drives it too. Both of them drive it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, this is cool. I mean, all these guys, you know, like I said, you get to be friends with all these people, and it's cool. There's nothing cooler than hanging out with the race crowd, and they say the same thing about rock and roll, so we all go hand in hand.
Now, do you know Rick Rogers from the Fighting Irish car?
Of course, I know Rick. I see him. I saw him at Pomona the last time. I know Tom Lemon, Larry Fullerton Jr. You know, a lot of these cats, I know them all. You know, John Hale's a buddy of ours. My friends from the Crop Duster, Frank and Deborah. You know, those guys have been friends. Mike Mallory. You know, you name the racers, I'm pretty much have hung out with them at one point or invaded their pits and hung out with them. I haven't had a chance to talk with any of the guys from Tony Bartone's crew. I always always see Roland Leong all the time when I'm on the line with him, and I always get to chat with him for a minute or two, and he's always asking if we're playing that night. So it's always kind of cool to talk to Roland, because that's, you know, how much time we got left in life that get to hang out with a legend as him, you know.
Yeah, the Hawaiian.
Yes, sirree. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I'm you know, pretty honored that you said, hey, let's do an interview. And I didn't think, you know, that I add anything much to, you know, I travel all the time on our station, so that one is good.
Yeah. There's a local nostalgia funny car driver up here from Wisconsin that comes up to Bakersfield. But Boz Young and the Down Under Thunder.
Oh, I saw them. I seen that car a few times.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to say hey to him, so I might have to go out of my way and just go say, hey, brothers, what's happening?
Yeah, he's got the accent. He was originally from England, I believe. I think he told me when I interviewed him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think we got another guy, too, that comes out there once in a while, Doc Holliday and the Telstar.
I seen Doc a few years back, and that was kind of cool to see him out here, because the Telstar was kind of cool. And anything with funny cars, dude, I'm in. You know, that's all I feel about it all. You know, I get to hang with all these guys, so it's been a kick.
Yeah, I would love to see a lot of those nostalgia guys from California make it up to the Midwest someday, because up here we get at Great Lakes Dragway in Wisconsin, we get Memorial Day, big event, and then Labor Day weekend, but it's only Boz Young and Doc Holliday for both of those events for 2 nostalgia Nitro funny cars. That's all we get.
Well, hopefully you get to come out to Cali, man, and come out and see one of the races here. You ever get to travel out here?
I've never been to Cali.
What are you waiting for?
The drivers are always asking me to come out here, like to the March Meet or the Hot Rod Reunion. Yeah.
Well, don't let time pass you by, you know. I know you guys, where you at? You're out of Minnesota area? Is that where you're at?
Illinois, on close to Wisconsin border.
Gotcha. Well, you guys got Brainerd. You got the Route 66 race.
Yeah.
So, at least you get to see a few of them, whatever locals that you guys go see, so that's cool.
Yeah, then I got Cordova in Illinois where they do the World Series.
Oh yeah, that's a big race.
Yeah, the guy that drives the Chi-Town Hustler now, Mike Minnick, he lives in Illinois.
Right.
Man. Yeah, the Chi-Town Hustler was always known for the big long burnouts.
Oh yeah, that was good old days, man. That was a great car, man. If you talk about cars from back then, I mean, you got to think of who the top. You know, I start thinking back of all the guys that ran back then, and there's only a handful that always stuck out in my head, like Ram Chargers, of course, Bruce Larson, USA 1, Jungle, of course, Stardust. But these guys are still keeping them alive. But you know, and like I said, the Chi-Town, Detroit Tiger. Who else? Airlift Rattler. You know, these are guys that I remember seeing. And all the Pro Stop guys and the guys from the Rod Shop. You know, I really keep digging back in nostalgia history, man. I just remember all the cars that I used to see, Gary Beck, a lot of the guys that were back in the big time, you know. Of course, Don Garlis, Dino Don, Dick Landy. Oh, there's so many people.
Shirley Muldowney.
Shirley. Connie Coletta, of course, was racing, you know.
Yeah. Chris the Greek Karamasini, who's still racing.
Yeah. Can you believe that? That's amazing. Jim Dunn as well. You know, Dunn Reed, Ed McCulloch, Revolution.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of cats, man. Racing school, man, that's like, I gotta keep promoting, tell everybody to go see a race.
Yeah, I remember when John Hale was driving for Jim Dunn.
Yeah, I saw him when he first started for him. After my accident, he was just he sent me a note when I was in the hospital. and he told me that when I see you, I got to give you a big hug, and I remember that. And I remember being at Pomona at the finals, and he told me he had some stuff going on. And Winter Nationals, he pulled me into the pit area when the guys were all in the white with the Moon Ice car. That was way cool, man. I was super proud of him to get that ride. And now my buddy Jim Campbell now rides with Jim, so it's like one buddy from another.
Yeah, I've had John on the air twice and Jim Campbell once.
Yeah, I got to bug Jim to get on. I got to get when I see him this weekend. I'm gonna give him a card and tell him to call me.
Now, have you tried John Hill's barbecue sauce?
Yes, sir. Pretty good, huh?
I've never tried it yet. Yeah, I haven't tried it.
John, I've actually stayed with John when I hung out in Dallas with him, so he invited me to hang out with him for a couple of days, and that was cool. I got to see the operation that he had, and I know he's got a new thing going on, so I know he's building a hangar for his plane, so, he's not really running anywhere for the next few months, so love to see him back out racing, see what happens, but I'll probably be in Dallas way before he gets out the racing, so I look forward to seeing him and Karen, so it'll be fun to hang with them again.
So are you planning to go to any funny car chaoses?
It depends on what time of the year and where I'm at, because I travel for my job, so I may be out at the same time. Every time I've gone to Boise, here's a laugh, every time I've been in Boise, I always miss the night fire by like a day, 2 days. They're doing a tune-ups or whatever, and I'm like, I got to leave on Friday, and I'm out of the race, or I was there for a wedding the last time, so I'm always trying to find a race. I did the same thing at Denver. I was in Denver, and the day I was leaving, they were racing. I'm like, great. My timing sucks.
Yeah. I think there's four funny car chases this year.
For who's going to be in, what teams? Yeah, you got what? Schumacher, Force, Coletta, and who else is in there?
Oh, they're still making announcements for who's driving the funny car chases. I know there's two in Texas, one in Illinois. I can't remember where the fourth one's at.
Gotcha. We'll have to see what's happening. But if you ever get out this way, let me know. Love to have you come hang out with us for the show or wherever we're at,
Yeah. So now, who's your top favorite driver that's out there these days?
My top favorite driver. Now, if I mention any names, that would be pretty. That would not be very good for me to do that, because I have so many freaking friends in the drag racing world. So, I don't want to piss any of my friends off, because I couldn't really say who's my favorites. I mean, I love a lot of these guys. So, out of the heroes that I've met, the big pro guys, I always say hi to Ron Capps and Jeff Deal. I mean, those guys are always cool. Tommy Johnson's crew. I knew a few cats in the Force camp, but they're no longer there, so I don't know anybody over there. I mean, there's so many great, the guys, Del Worsham, Del's another good friend of ours, and, out of all the cats, you talk about the drivers, Leah, the Sarge and Antron, there's too many guys in the pro ranks to just even say who you like. When I watch them race side by side, I always have a favorite. I'll pick one of the two, but, it may always change, so without pissing anybody off, I love them all.
Yeah, I remember when you and Chris were on the air last Wednesday, you were saying if you bring Chris out and he meets Leah Pritchard, you're going to have to hold him back.
Yeah. So what do you do? How can you argue with any of that stuff? I just what? I'm happy to know that everybody goes out there and does their best job to do it, and they want to make it happen, and you put on a great show for us all. So, like you, this is what we do to give back, man. And I don't want to have any personal favorites, because, like I said, these guys do is a dream for me, man. If I could do at least one of those races, what any of those guys do, I'd be very honored. So they all kick ass. So thank you guys for doing what you do. You know.
What do you think about Ashley Sanford?
I met her because I remember the guys were doing some stuff with Larry Mears Racing, and they were helping her out, and that's when I met her. She might be somebody. She had a pretty good thing running. I saw, who knows? Ashley could be a contender. You never know. But I think that the one that definitely stood out as far as women this last was Leah. Leah definitely has the intensity that I've seen. I don't know about the other girls so much because I haven't talked to them. I've talked to a few of the alcohol drivers like Kay Parker and the girls there, the Parker family, and they're pretty intense. And of course, Miss DeJuria. So these guys, they're all intense, man. But I don't know. You see people and you don't know where they're going to go or how they're going to pull things off. And you know what the thing is? At the end of the day, and I hate to say it, but it is true that money makes it all happen. If you don't have a lot of money pushing behind you, from my perspective, that you may not go far in this thing, and you're always going to stay on the bottom half of the field, and then you got guys with big money pushing through. So money might be able to buy you a winner,
Yeah.
And sponsorship is definitely important. Look at Gary Densham. I love him, and when he was with Force, he was winning. Then he lost that deal, and it's just like, okay, what happened now? He's been struggling since, and it's sad. It's sad to know that money is kind of that thing,
Yep, money.
Go ahead.
Money makes the world go round.
That's true. Money wins races.
So now, Joe, what the song "Ghost Town"? What's that about?
I dated some girl at one time, and I remember I was taking her home Sunday night, but she was wanting to stay over, but I'm like, nah, you gotta go. So it's midnight, and I'm driving her home, and I remember it just being, the town was so desolate on a Saturday night, or a Sunday night, at midnight. It just gave me an inspiration to start jetting down some of my own personal feelings and my own personal life. I'd like to sleep over, but I like to sleep alone. It's kind of weird, I'm a weird guy like that. Have fun, go
home. So let's spin this song "Ghost Town" now on the air.
You got it, brother.
All right. Hope you people enjoy it. The Kings.
Take you home. I let's sleep over, but I like to sleep alone. There's no one out here on the streets. I ain't seen nothing, not a hoodlum or a thief. I don't know what's going on. Feel like I'm in the twilight zone. It's like a ghost town. Driving through the streets at night like a ghost town. This crazy feeling, I've been here before. Out of the darkness, I hear a dog bark. Do you really live here? Hey, where did I park? I don't know what's going on. Feel like I'm in the twilight zone. It's like a ghost town. Driving through the streets at night like a ghost town. It's like a ghost town. It's pretty late now in a city full of fear. It's after 2 a.m. and I can't get myself a beer. out of the darkness, voices that they speak. I pass this homeless guy living in the street. I don't know what's going on. Feel like I'm in the twilight zone. It's like a ghost town. Submitted for your approval. Take you home. I like to sleep over, but I like to sleep alone. There's no one out here on the streets. I ain't seen nothing, not a hoodlum or a thief. I don't know what's going on. Feel like I'm in the twilight zone. It's like a ghost town. Driving through the streets at night like a ghost town.
Okay, we're back live on there with Joe Walla. We just heard The Kings, Ghost Town. Hope you people like that song. So, Joe, with The Kings, how'd you get involved with drag racing playing at the events?
Well, like I said at the beginning of the show, my manager was friends with Dan and Rand. They both had a club together. And Dan came to see us play one night at some bar up in Simi Valley, some sports bar place, and I was doing my stupidity. There's some videos out there where I do stupid stuff with the guitar, like I'll play guitar off of anything. You'll give me a plate, you'll give me a beer bottle. Guy took off his leg one time, I used his leg. So I do stupid things like this. But the guy saw me doing this with somebody's chicken bones on a guitar, and I'm playing, I'm making noise. And the guy goes, I got a funny car. We should wrap this guy. I don't know why he's playing in clubs like this, so we need to put him on a car. We need to expose him. So he put us on the race car. And the very first time we were out there was the March meet. So the deal was, we played 3 nights at the March meet. We did infield. We played on the show, a big show on the track on Saturday night, infield, and then we did something at a Chewy's restaurant where they had all the race cars pulled up. So we did 3 shows every night. Every night we had a show. And it was crazy. The first night we played was, it was just a casual bar type of thing. Everybody's outside. Probably had maybe a couple of hundred people. And the next night we played in the midway where we had an hospitality tent. There was probably maybe another 150, 200 people. And the next night was like 1,000 plus people on the track dancing. So I mean, that's what brought it. I mean, people were coming up to us after, man, you guys were great, man. This is the best show. This is like a big party. And I kind of felt like this is where I belong. So this is where I keep it going. You know, this is home. Every time I cross the track and walk through that gate at the Moser Raceway, I feel like I've entered Kevin's gate. That's how I feel. I mean, other people have said this too, but I hear people saying, Joe, they're calling you out when they walk through the gate. You guys playing? When you guys playing? So we built up a lot of fans, and I've been very lucky to play all these places that are basically connected to drag racing. We did Stitt's Christmas party, Kevin Stitt Printing. He does our shirts for the band, and we've done a couple of Christmas parties over there with Kevin. So, you know, I've been very honored, man. It's like I said, it's a very cool thing to be able to share the gift of music and make people happy. So that's the goal. That's what all that matters to me. Yeah. Money doesn't mean it all.
Yeah, Kevin does so many of the drag racer shirts.
Well, I'm sure I got one of each in my closet.
And then he made those calendars too, which all these drivers keep sending me the same calendar. I got like multiple copies of the calendar.
Well, you want one? I'll send you one.
No, I got enough.
See?
So now, Joe, if people want to listen to the show on Wednesday, how do they tune in?
Oh, it's radiobuzz.com. Wednesday night, 6:30, Pacific Standard Time. Radio Buzz. It's, you know, I might as well spell it because it always gets messed up. It's RADIOBUZZB, the capital D on the end of radiobuzz.com. Somebody says Radio Buzz B, but whatever works. Or you can look at us on Facebook as well, and that'll get you out there. Now,
this Wednesday, are you going to be on?
We're going to be on Wednesday. This Wednesday. Next Wednesday, I'm already lining up some people. I think I'm going to have a few. Haven't confirmed all the guys yet, so I wanted to make sure I confirmed them. Possibly Kenny Youngblood. I got the guys from the Formosa Mob going to be on, and I have a few other people that I just need to confirm them before I mention them. But those are my two that I want to have on the show to start the show off. And I have a friend of mine who's going to stop by from Candlebox, Adam Curry, the bass player from there. He's going to stop by the studio and have a few words with us and talk about his touring with Candlebox this year.
Now, as far as the Kings Band, how can people look the Kings Band up and find out where you guys are playing at?
You know, I'm usually just blasting by word of mouth and on Facebook, so that's usually when I'm communicating. Until I get this website up and about, I really haven't put a lot of effort into it, which is my fault, and I'm holding us up by doing that. But I just wanted to have the right content on a website and not cost a fortune to build one, you know. So just looking, still hunting.
So for the website, how long do you think before it'll finally be up?
I mean, it's there now. It's like I said, it's kingsmusic.com. But I'm thinking a couple of months I should have it up and running. I'm hoping right after the March meet I can have a little more time to put into it. I'm going to see if I can talk my partner Chris Seaward, the ace of all things knowing on a computer, and see if he can put a site together for me for relatively inexpensive. It's all simple. I just need to be able to work it and upload it because I'm not a tech. I know how to play guitar. That's about it.
Now on Facebook, do you have a page for the Kings?
Yeah, there is a Kings page. There's a Joe Walla fan page, and there's also my page, Joe Walla. And just look for my ugly mug, you'll find me.
Now, those three pages, you keep them up to date on what's going on?
Yeah, pretty much on all of them. My page, I'm always updating stuff there. But you can probably check on Radio Buzz, too, because we'll be posting stuff on there, too, on the Radio Buzz page.
Sounds good. So, Joe, I'd like to thank you for your time for the interview. Do you have any final words for all the people listening out there?
Yeah, dream big and live bigger. That's the philosophy for life, man. Have a good dream and make it happen, man. That's all I can tell you in life is that it's going by so fast. And, you know, I never thought I'd live to be 56 because I'm an old bastard. But, you know, there's guys older than me. They're still running around like madmen. So think at 20 that, I ain't going to make it that far. Have a bigger dream, because you know what? If you don't live loud and you don't live in the moment, you're going to regret every day that you didn't live loud. So that's what I tell people: live big and dream bigger.
And go out and watch drag racing.
Exactly, man. Hopefully, I'll see you guys if you try to see me at a track. Come up and say, hey, kick me, whatever, just so I know you guys seen us and share the moment.
And if you got kids, make sure you bring the kids out.
Oh yeah, kids. This is definitely got to keep that heritage going, man. Thank everybody who helps us go forward, man. That's all I can say, brother.
The kids are the future of drag racing, Joe.
Yeah, you got kids?
I got a 21-year-old, but you got to get the young ones out there, though.
That's true. As long as they can share the same thing and not sit home and play video games.
Yeah, they don't know what they're missing with you. Be out there live with the nitromethane cars, the thunder and the smell and that stuff. Man.
That's right. Nitro burning funny cars. Sunday.
Get your eyes all teared up.
That's right. You gotta love them, man. It's a good life. I mean, live the dream, kids. Put the phones down. Only to take pictures.
Yeah, they can do live videos of the drag races, Facebook Live. They got.
Oh, I know. They're doing that. And I saw that, and I actually heard the guys talking about something one night, that the guys are actually using their phones to back up the cars.
Yeah.
And one of the guys was saying, it's so dangerous, because what happens if the car's clutch engages as it goes back, and it runs a guy over who's just like getting a 10-second delay from his phone or a delay from the phone? It's not happening, they got to back them out. They got to put them in a little safetier area. So you guys backing up cars, stay a little further back, because the cars look closer than they are. Next thing you know, you're going to be ran down.
Yeah.
Just safe. And that's why I think the guys are trying to keep everything, all these parts under, 340, they're not wanting them to go any faster, because it's kind of dangerous when it comes to stopping these things and whatever else is going on. But you know what? I'd love to see them doing 370, 400 miles an hour one day, which will probably happen before we die, buddy.
Yeah, it sucks how we lost Brett Henry at that Hot Rod reunion last year.
I was there. I saw the remains of that car. I didn't see what happened to Brett. And I met Brett the year before through my buddy Brad. And I got one of the shirts in my closet. I was there when Roger Gardner ate it that night. And we played that night. And that was crazy. We played at 1:30 in the morning. And we didn't know Roger had passed. They said, yeah, he's all right. They flew him in. And I remember the next morning when I went back to the track, they were like, he passed on. And that was pretty sad news. But you know what? When you do something you love, why not? This is what we live for. So it's sad we lose our heroes, but at the same time, it's, you know what? I went out doing something I loved. What did you do?
Yep. Got the need for speed.
Yeah, well, no matter what we do, dude, I'd love to be in a crowd of a couple of 100,000 people playing a rock and roll song, and then I have a heart attack and die right there. That would be the way to go out, or get electrocuted. I don't care. As long as I got to do what I wanted to do, and that's where I died at,
Yeah.
Gruesome, but hey. What are you going to say for yourself at the end of that? Oh, I was in accounting and I had a heart attack because somebody went over by a penny. Right?
Yeah.
That ain't no high life, buddy. That's not the high life. Live on the edge.
But now with Dimebag Darrell, that wasn't good, getting shot up on stage and dying on stage like that?
No, not like that. That would definitely not be the way to go out, somebody shooting you. That was uncalled for. I thought that was pretty pathetic.
Yeah.
Too many people, man. It's getting crazier every day. So you're probably out in a community that isn't as crazy as Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's very quiet over here.
Quiet is good until the nitro starts.
Unless you go to Chicago, then it's a little more crazy over there.
Yeah, I've been there. It's like LA in a way.
Yeah. So, Joe, it's been great chatting with you.
Thanks for having me on the show, man. We're going to do the same for you. We're going to have you call up, and we're going to ask you a billion questions. We'll put you on the hot seat.
I'll have to try to prepare for that one.
Oh, don't worry. I'll catch you off guard. I'll ask some of the craziest questions, because that way you won't think too much. Like, oh, my God, he asked me that question. This guy's whacked.
Yeah, this podcast, my wife's the one that started the podcast. Yeah, she started this whole thing up like 6 years ago.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you keep it going, brother. And good luck to you wherever you go with this, man. And hopefully it continues to grow just like we're planning to grow. So if we can help each other somewhere, reach out and we'll do the same, man. That's what it's all about.
Yep. All right, Joe.
Thanks for having me, brother. Have a great night. And thank you all you guys out there for listening tonight.
Okay, everyone, have a good night. Joe, you have a good night. Thanks again.
All right, Big Dave. Be well. And I will talk to you soon, brother.
All right, take care, brother.
You got it. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.